We've once again left behind another incredibly exciting episode of Fallout, and just thinking about what awaits us in the season finale is making me seriously impatient. Was Cooper waking up Mr. House a huge mistake? Will Lucy be able to stop Hank? And can Maximus reach Lucy in time? There are so many unanswered questions. So let's break down the most important details from Episode 7 and talk about what we might see in Episode 8, the season finale. Lucy learns Hank's plan. This episode made me admire Lucy even more. In both the previous episode and Episode 7, we hadn't really seen her take a firm stand against Hank. When it was revealed that the mind control device could erase bad memories and even bring hardened Legionnaires to their knees, it almost sounded reasonable for a moment. After all, who wouldn't be tempted by the idea of a device that could end all wars? Thankfully, Lucy didn't fall for Hank's illusion. With a clever move, she handcuffed him and made her way to the main computer controlling everyone. What she discovered there was completely unexpected. Inside a jar connected to the system was the head of Congresswoman Diane Welch. This meant the information Hank used to control people was directly taken from the government's original plans. That alone shows just how dangerous the situation truly is. Episode 8 is likely to bring intense drama between Lucy and Hank, which we'll get to shortly. But before that, we need to talk about the ghoul's biggest mistake. The ghoul wakes up Mr. House. The scariest moment of Episode 7, in my opinion, was the ghoul waking up Mr. House. At first, the ghoul seemed confident. When he asked Maximus for the cold fusion, it felt like he had a clear plan, possibly even a way to reunite with his wife and daughter. Maximus tearing through the death claws one by one only made that plan seem more solid. But when the cold fusion was connected and Mr. House woke up, it didn't feel like something the ghoul had intended. And in the Episode 8 trailer, when Mr. House says, "Like it or not, everyone eventually works for me," it becomes clear that the ghoul may have made a very serious mistake. Maximus, the hero. I genuinely love every moment where Maximus steps into his role as a hero. He may have become a knight through cheating at first, but the way he slowly turns into a real knight, making moral choices and proving himself as a warrior, is a fantastic zero-to-hero journey. In Episode 7, trusting the ghoul, wanting to take the cold fusion to Lucy, and fearlessly agreeing to fight the Death Claws only made me admire Maximus more. And I'm confident that in Episode 8, he'll go even further. What's really going on in Vault 32? One of the most intriguing storylines this episode was Steph's. We already knew she had threatened to cut off Vault 33's water supply unless she got the box Hank brought from Vault 33. What we didn't know was that she entered the vault as a fugitive, killing people along the way, and that she may have harmed Woody. The fact that she's been alive for over 200 years makes her even more mysterious. Thankfully, when Chad revealed the Canadian passport he had seen earlier, right in the middle of the wedding, everyone finally realized who Steph really was. She was cornered, but she escaped straight to the box. And now, there's only one question left. What's inside the box? Episode 8, the season finale. Now it's time for the season finale we've all been waiting for, and there's a lot to unpack. Let's start with Steph. Whatever Hank created has massively increased my curiosity, and right now, I can't imagine anything coming out of that box other than another mind control device. The scary part is that Steph likely won't be able to use it as carefully as Hank did, which could lead to shocking deaths in Vault 32. Whatever's inside that box, it's going to have serious consequences. Another major source of tension will be Lucy and Hank. In the trailer, we see Hank somehow escaping his handcuffs and confronting Lucy again. The chip in his hand turns out to be, once more, a mind control device. This suggests Hank will try to fully control Lucy now that she's actively trying to destroy his plans. At that point, Lucy's options are limited. She could destroy the Congresswoman's head and escape, or wait for help to arrive from the outside. And we already know who that help will be. Despite theories suggesting Maximus might die fighting the Death Claws, I believe he'll survive, even if the fight is brutal, and make his way to Lucy. When that happens, we'll finally see whether Lucy and Maximus choose to show mercy to Hank once again, or put an end to him for good. The final conflict: the ghoul versus Mr. House. The last major tension will, of course, be between the ghoul and the Mr. House he woke up. I fully expect Mr. House to take control almost immediately. Threatening the ghoul by targeting his family feels almost inevitable. I don't think destroying a few machines will be enough to stop Mr. House. We'll likely see his true plans unfold, and possibly even another nuclear launch. After all, the last time the ghoul handed cold fusion technology to an American president, things didn't exactly go the way he hoped. Now it's your turn. What do you think will happen in the season finale? Let's talk about it in the comments. The first thing that immediately stands out in the Fallout Season 2 Episode 8 trailer is the shift in tone. This doesn't feel like the beginning of a new chapter. It feels like the calm right before everything collapses. The world looks harsher, more broken, and strangely more controlled at the same time. There's a clear sense that power is changing hands, and not quietly. Whatever balance existed at the end of last season is gone now. The trailer strongly suggests that the actions taken in Season 1 have consequences that can no longer be ignored. Systems that were once hidden are now active, and forces that stayed in the shadows are finally stepping forward. There's a constant feeling that someone is watching, calculating, and waiting for the perfect moment to strike. This isn't just about survival anymore, it's about ownership of the future. You can feel that the characters are no longer reacting to chaos, they're trapped inside it. Every decision now comes with a cost, and the trailer makes it very clear that Season 2, Episode 8 will force our characters to choose between control and freedom, loyalty and truth, and mercy and destruction. There's tension in the silence, fear in the pauses, and danger in the confidence of those who believe they're already winning. This episode doesn't look like it will ask questions. It looks like it will demand answers. One of the strongest and most unsettling feelings running through the Episode 8 trailer is the sense that Lucy and Maximus are both being pushed toward moments they can't escape anymore. For Lucy, the danger feels more personal than ever. This trailer makes it clear that she is no longer just uncovering secrets or reacting to threats. She has become the threat to someone far more powerful. There's a heavy implication that Lucy is now fully aware of what's at stake, and more importantly, what she might have to sacrifice to stop it. The calm determination we see from her doesn't feel hopeful. It feels final. It's the kind of resolve someone has when they know there may be no way out. The danger around her doesn't come from chaos anymore, but from control. Someone wants to break her, not by force alone, but by taking away her choices. And that makes her situation far more terrifying than any creature or weapon in the Wasteland. At the same time, Maximus's storyline in the trailer feels like it's reaching a critical breaking point. There's an overwhelming sense that everything he's learned, every moral choice he's made, has been leading to this one moment. The trailer strongly hints that Maximus may be facing his greatest test yet, not just physically, but mentally. This doesn't feel like a battle he can win with strength alone. There's pressure on him from every direction, and the idea of a last stand doesn't come from weakness, but from responsibility. Maximus has always been driven by the idea of becoming something better than what he was, and now it feels like the world is asking him to prove it. Whether he survives or not, this episode looks like it will define who he truly is. What makes this situation even more intense is how closely Lucy's fate seems tied to Maximus's. The trailer quietly suggests that their paths are once again moving toward each other, but under far worse circumstances than before. Time feels like the enemy here. Every moment that passes increases the danger Lucy is in, and every obstacle in Maximus's path feels deliberate, almost calculated. There's a growing sense that someone wants to see how far Maximus will go, and what he's willing to lose. The tension doesn't come from explosive action, but from anticipation. You can feel that one wrong decision could cost Lucy her freedom, her mind, or even her life. And for Maximus, failure wouldn't just mean defeat, it would mean becoming the very thing he's been fighting against. Episode 8 doesn't look like it will give them easy victories. Instead, it feels like it's preparing to ask the hardest question of all. How much of yourself can you give up before there's nothing left to save? The trailer only gives us fragments, but those fragments are enough to raise some terrifying possibilities, especially when it comes to the box and the device connected to it. Ever since the mystery surrounding that box began, it has felt less like an object and more like a trigger. The Episode 8 trailer strongly suggests that whatever is inside is not just dangerous, but destabilizing. This isn't something that affects one vault or one group of people. This is the kind of technology that can rewrite power structures across the entire Wasteland. The fact that it's now out of Hank's direct control makes the situation even more unpredictable. Without someone who understands its limits, the device becomes even more lethal. It no longer needs a mastermind, it only needs someone desperate enough to use it. One of the most chilling theories the trailer supports is that this device was never meant to be used carefully. It feels like a weapon disguised as a solution. The promise of control, peace, and order is tempting, especially in a broken world, but the cost is always freedom. If the box truly contains a refined version of the mind control technology, then Episode 8 could show us the moment when manipulation turns into open domination. The trailer hints at panic, confusion, and fear spreading quickly, almost like people realizing too late that they've already lost control. And once that line is crossed, there's no easy way back. This is how wars don't just begin. They're forced into existence. What makes this even more dangerous is the idea that multiple factions may now be aware of what the box can do. Power like this never stays hidden for long. The trailer's tension suggests that conflict is no longer a possibility. It's inevitable. We may be looking at the early stages of a full-scale war, not fought with armies alone, but with influence, fear, and obedience. Whoever controls the device controls perception, memory, and loyalty. And that kind of power doesn't need bombs to destroy a world. Episode 8 feels like the moment where Fallout stops being a story about survival and becomes a story about domination. The Wasteland has always been violent, but now it may be entering a new phase, one where people don't even realize they're fighting until it's already too late. If there is one presence that quietly dominates the Episode 8 trailer without even needing much screen time, it is Mr. House. Ever since his awakening, Fallout's story has shifted from scattered chaos to calculated control, and the trailer makes it painfully clear that this was never going to end peacefully. Mr. House doesn't feel like a villain who rushes into destruction. He feels patient, precise, and terrifyingly confident. The kind of figure who already knows how every possible outcome benefits him. In the trailer, there's a strong sense that his return has set irreversible events into motion. This isn't a character who needs to prove his power. His power exists in how others react to him. Silence, hesitation, obedience. Those reactions alone tell us everything we need to know. The most disturbing part is the growing realization that waking Mr. House may have been the single biggest mistake made so far. What once seemed like a desperate move driven by hope now feels like the opening move in someone else's long-planned game. The trailer strongly suggests that Mr. House has been waiting for this moment, not just to return, but to reclaim ownership of the world he believes belongs to him. His idea of order isn't built on rebuilding, it's built on control. And unlike other threats in the Wasteland, he doesn't need brute force to dominate. He understands systems, human behavior, fear, and dependency. That makes him far more dangerous than any monster or army. This is where the tension between Mr. House and the ghoul becomes especially important. The trailer hints at a shift in their dynamic, one where the ghoul is no longer acting on his own terms. There's an uncomfortable sense that Mr. House already knows everything about him, his past, his weaknesses, and most importantly, what he still cares about. In Fallout, caring about something is often the greatest vulnerability, and Mr. House knows exactly how to exploit that. The possibility that he could use the ghoul's family as leverage feels almost inevitable, and that threat alone could turn cooperation into submission. The trailer doesn't show open conflict between them yet, but that's what makes it so unsettling. It feels like the quiet before psychological warfare truly begins. What's even more frightening is how Mr. House's return ties into the larger conflict brewing across the Wasteland. His presence doesn't just affect one storyline, it connects all of them. The box, the device, the shifting power dynamics between vaults, and the growing sense of an approaching war all seem to orbit around him. The trailer gives off the impression that Mr. House doesn't just want to survive the future, he wants to design it. and that future doesn't include freedom unless it serves his vision. This raises a terrifying question. What happens when order becomes more dangerous than chaos? Episode 8 feels like the moment where illusions finally shatter. The illusion that advanced technology can save humanity without a cost. The illusion that control can bring peace. And the illusion that characters can keep making morally gray decisions without consequences. Mr. House represents the end of those illusions. He is the embodiment of a world where humanity is managed, not trusted. And once someone like that takes control, rebellion becomes nearly impossible, because people may not even realize they're being controlled in the first place. The trailer doesn't promise explosive action or immediate destruction. Instead, it promises something far worse: inevitability. A sense that the Wasteland is being reshaped from the inside out. Episode 8 doesn't look like it will answer every question, but it absolutely feels like it will lock the characters into paths they can no longer escape. And with Mr. House now fully awake, the cost of every decision is about to increase dramatically. The real danger isn't what he might do next. The real danger is that he might already be 10 steps ahead of everyone else. Fallout Season 2. Episode 8 is shaping up to be more than just a finale. It feels like the point where everything converges. Every thread from the previous episodes, the choices, the betrayals, the small victories, and the mistakes, is being pulled toward a single, unavoidable collision. The trailer gives us just enough to feel the tension building, but not enough to calm the nerves. Every frame seems calculated to remind us that nothing will be easy, no one is safe, and the consequences of past actions are about to hit with full force. There's a sense that every character is standing on the edge of something monumental, and whether they fall or survive depends on both luck and the choices they've already made. This isn't just the end of a season, it's the moment where Fallout becomes truly unforgiving, showing us the weight of a world constantly on the brink of collapse. One of the most compelling elements highlighted in the trailer is the way the finale seems to focus on difficult moral choices. Lucy, Maximus, the ghoul, and even secondary characters are all facing situations where survival may not be enough. The trailer hints at moments that will test their integrity, courage, and priorities in ways we haven't seen before. Lucy, in particular, appears cornered, and it's clear that her intelligence, resourcefulness, and courage are being pushed to the limit. For viewers who have followed her journey, this is the moment where everything she's fought for could be undone, and the stakes feel terrifyingly personal. She may have always been a strong and clever character, but the trailer makes it clear that cunning alone won't be enough. At the same time, her choices could redefine the future of those around her. Every decision she makes carries a risk that is immediate and irreversible. And the trailer doesn't let us forget that even small missteps in this world can have catastrophic consequences. Maximus's role in this finale also appears monumental. From the very beginning, his character arc has been about transformation, going from a flawed, inexperienced fighter to someone who can rise to incredible challenges. Episode 8 looks like it will put that evolution to the ultimate test. The trailer suggests that he will face threats not only from physical enemies like deathclaws or merciless soldiers, but also from strategic and psychological pressures that test his resolve. Every choice Maximus makes now could determine not just his fate, but the survival of Lucy, the ghoul, and even entire vaults. What makes this arc so thrilling is that the trailer hints at moments where Maximus must decide between personal gain, moral duty, and survival. His journey has always been zero to hero, but Episode 8 might transform that heroism into something darker, more complicated, and far more satisfying for the audience watching every struggle and every triumph.